Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time I dug really, really hard into the vault and found Conan The Adventurer from 1997. Um, Before we get into it, let me go ahead and take care of some business, then we'll get into it. Like, share, and subscribe if you're still on the fence about subscribing. Take a look at the very end here. There's going to be a video that pops up here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library just for you. And if you like that there, hit that subscribe button down there. And if you want to know when I'm on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have my links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tier sipping on the Patreon. Waiting until I get 1,000 subs. That's my goal. And then I can actually put stuff up and, you guys get stuff for your money that you give me and all that kind of stuff. Also links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page for those of you who still have Facebook to post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. So this is a 23-year-old show. And I honestly thought that I had a fever dream about it. That's what I had always thought this was all about. And until I started watching, there's a couple different free TV apps that you can download on your Fire TV or your Roku or whatever. And one of them happens to be Stirr, STIRR. And they have a lot of sci-fi stuff, channels and stuff like that. And so one of the channels that they had, I happened to see, it was a sci-fi channel. They were just kind of interspersing, like kind of what the old sci-fi channel used to do when it was called SCIFI, sci-fi, not sci-fi, like it is now. And so they were doing, what was it? I think it was Greatest American Hero. And then they were going to do Conan right afterwards. And I was like, really? They have Conan? I wonder if they have on demand. So I started searching, and sure enough, they have on demand. And they have the entire first season of 20 some odd episodes, to my chagrin. So this starred Rolf Muller. I can never pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna murder your name. It's German, and I know it has like dots over the E and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna murder your name. I'm sorry, but this guy is a friend of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's also a Mr. Universe winner as well. And you've seen him in Arnold's movies, and you've seen him in Van Damme's movies. You've seen him in pretty much any 80s, 90s movies he was in the background, big buff guy, and usually mute for a reason. His accent was thicker than Arnold's, and man, these set designs are rough. I think I've seen underground porn that's had bigger budgets than this show did. And I was looking at the wiki for this beforehand and saw that it was shot entirely in Acapulco, Mexico. It was produced by Max and Michelin Keller. And they were the people that brought us such classics like Tarzan, The Epic Adventures, and Acapulco Heat, if you remember. So they like to film in Mexico, obviously. Yeah, and this actually got widespread. It was only one season long. It had 22 episodes, and yeah, it was really bad. So it's loosely based on the books. They kind of more went with a smattering of the Marvel comics, the 70s Marvel comics, a little bit of the John Millis movie, and I guess Schwarzenegger also kind of stepped in a little bit too and did a little input into this movie as well. And it actually has some people that you would know. I mean, actors in here. You've seen them in other movies, like Danny Woodburn is in this. He is, of course, the little person. He's been in tons of movies. The Wizard, if you look at the Wizard, dude, you'll notice him. He's been in lots and lots of stuff, and a lot of big-breasted women, on top of all of that, which is why I get that porn reference going on here. And, yeah, it's almost like, I was rewatching the first episode, and, the lady that's acting next to him, to Ralph is I can almost see it in the dailies like, "Oh, Conan, you're my line hero. Oh, yeah. Retake." I mean, that's how bad this is. It's really bad. So is it worth your time? Fuck no, it's not worth your time. Um, I couldn't even rewatch the first episode. That's how bad it was. Mickey Rooney was in the first episode, if that gives you an indication. Mickey Rooney in the 90s, the mid to late 90s, was in every fucking thing he could get into, even though he was 90 years old, I think, at that point, or 80 years old. But yeah, he was trying to get into everything he can get into. And there's a joke about it actually in The Simpsons that he voices himself uh in the same time period that he is in pretty much everything. It's the Radioactive Man episode where Homer is playing, or no, where Millhouse is playing Fallout Boy. So yeah, it's that bad. Yes, it is. If you don't believe me, you could take a look at the thumbnail. That was the clearest picture I could get. Everything else was grainy as fuck. So yeah, it was really, really hard sharpening that up in Photoshop, which I tried doing. And there just isn't a program well enough in the world. I think that's a digital program that's going to clear up that picture. So yeah, it's just really poorly shot, poorly acted, and also Conan didn't kill anybody in this series. So this is the kinder, gentler Conan. So whenever you had bad guys raid a village or something like that, he would literally kind of hobble up to one of them, and they would stop and like, and he'd grab them and then hang them up on something, or boom, he would knock them down, and then they would get up and run away. That was the series. Yeah, and oh, it was bad. The Wizard would talk to a skull, a talking skull that was inside a water bath, essentially, that would, bubbling water, and it would come up, and it was kind of a sassy skull that would talk. Um, yes, the Mark Singer Beastmaster stuff. I'm fairly sure they were kind of trying to capture that a bit as well, but this was not it. Like I said, the props for this, the settings and stuff like that. I I literally have seen porn movies that have had better props, like low budget fucking porn movies that have had better props than this thing. So yeah, it's god awful. Stay as far away from it as you can. If you really want to see it, it's over on Stir. You can, do an on demand of all 22 episodes if you want to. Um, yeah, it was one of those things I just kind of had to dig out and release from my mind, I guess you could say, and get it out there because fuck all. I knew it was out there. I couldn't remember if it was, if I liked it or not when I first saw it. Obviously, I must have been either really, really drunk. I kind of remember watching this 1997. I was finishing my undergraduate degree. So I'm fairly sure I was my first undergraduate degree, I should say. Uh, yeah, so I was working a couple jobs, doing a lot of classes, and then watching really shitty TV. So I'm fairly sure it was late at night, and I never really paid attention to it. Yeah. Review the Conan cartoon next. I vaguely remember. Oh my god, I remember that piece of shit. And no, that one I can already tell you that's going to be that's going to be a no on that one. I remember that piece of shit. That was bad. Was this like Saturday syndication show? Yeah, it was a syndicated show. It hit 150 different countries. I was looking at the wiki, like I said beforehand. And it's still getting distributed around the world. So it's still out there. They are still making money off of it. I'm fairly sure that's how come Ralph is, he's probably making money off of this thing, residuals, or maybe not. Maybe they screwed him out of the money. We don't know. But yeah, it's bad. It's really really bad. I mean, no offense to Rolf Mueller. I know he tried, and I know Arnold probably talked him into it too, and gave him support and everything. But no, dude, you're not a leading man. I'm sorry. Maybe in Germany, maybe if you're speaking German, I don't know. I don't know what your acting ability is, but it seemed like you had problems with English, and just acting in English in general. So you look good. I mean, he was a big guy, and he was usually taller than everyone else that was around him and whatnot. But yeah, they just kept throwing him big-breasted bimbo after big-breasted bimbo, and it was bad. Yes, Thunder the Barbarian was a solid ABC cartoon. You're right, Joker. It was. Yeah, the Conan cartoon though was not no bueno, no bueno. They tried, but you know. Sorry, I was trying to get my Spanish in there too, since this was all filmed in Acapulco. Acapulco. I always fuck up that name too. I fuck up everything that I say for the most part. So you've watched me long enough by now. If you have, I fuck up shit that I speak. Yeah, there you go. Perfect example. So is it worth your time? Fuck no. Stay as far away from this as possible. Yeah, this is not pretty. But again, like I said, if you're curious, you know where to see it for free. You don't need to pay any money for it. And you shouldn't pay any money for it because, good God. Yeah. With that said, what else do I have going on this week? Well, tomorrow is the contest results for the boys. Have you gotten your submission in yet? All you need to do is go take a look at my last video for the boys season 2, episode 8, and all the contest rules are in there in the description of the video. And I get to find out who wins the t-shirt, the boys t-shirt. That's what's going on there. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday is the season finale of Lovecraft Country, which I'm kind of disappointed about. But, there you have it. Monday I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I haven't figured out what I'm doing yet. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll do another dig through the vault thing and the vault of my mind and find something that everyone can watch. Wednesday I'll be off, and then of course Thursday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And again, I'll find something else. So the reason why I'm doing a couple of Is It Worth My Times during the week, there's nothing on TV at the moment. There is Hellstrom that's on Hulu that starts tomorrow. I've been thinking about it, and thinking about it, and thinking about it, and thinking about it. I don't know. I might do the first episode, just kind of watch it and see where it's at. But the trailer did not wow me. It's also a Jeff Loeb Legacy Marvel series. It's the last one that was left from Jeff Loeb. It's the only one that has his fingerprints still on it. And that worries me because all Jeff Loeb Marvel TV shows or Marvel Studio shows just suck balls. They really do. Except for Daredevil for some reason on Netflix. I don't think he had a lot of say in that one. I think he was hands off and it was all Steven DeKnight on that one. But yeah. Yeah, the less said about Cloak and Dagger, the better. And Runaways. And Iron Fist. God, I still remember that fucking New York Comic Con that Jeff Loeb came out on stage dressed in a gi with a headband on, embarrassing not just himself, but just showing how racist he actually is. But yeah. So, with that said, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here, and if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down there. Also, while you're down there, if you can, hit that like button and hit the share button too if you're down there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. Also, all the links to my social media are there as well, and all the links to my pages. So this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow for the boys contest results. And we'll probably talk a little bit about the boys too and all that kind of stuff. So thanks, Joe. Yeah. So until tomorrow, then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up in a really, 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 really low budget TV show that only lasts one season, but is 22 episodes long. But you get a free Acapulco vacation out of it. But you still are in a really shitty TV series that is pretty much more embarrassing than a porn movie for some reason. I don't know why. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, be well, and stay safe out there. And have a good night. Thanks.